I am too busy for blahs, but yeah, I just. Yeah. I need some, but I'll probably do something. I'll tell you what my next. It's gonna be.
Right.
We're doing some.
Yeah, I'm thinking of. Call this meeting of the Delta Township Board to order. Will board members and guests please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, will you please call the roll.
Trustee Mohica. Trustee Cascarella.
Present.
Trustee Brewer.
Present.
Trustee Bowen.
Here.
Treasurer Fedewa.
Here.
Clerk Clark is present. Supervisor Fletcher.
Here.
You have quorum.
Thank you. Motion to excuse trustee Mohica would be in order.
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
There is support. All those in favor of excusing trustee Mohica, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. We have the agenda before us. Any additions or deletions? If not, a motion to approve. Linda,
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
is there support?
Support.
There is support. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. We have some communications on an update on the Water Resource Recovery Facility Construction Project for your review. Public comments. Anybody here this evening to speak on something? You know, coming forward. So we'll continue down now with the consent agenda. It's pleasure of the board and the consent agenda this evening. Andrea,
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
is there support?
Support.
There is support. Madam Clerk, please call the
Supervisor Fletcher, I'd like to pull item 3B,
3B.
minutes of
Okay.
November 14th.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approving the consent agenda as amended.
Trustee Cascarella.
Yes.
Trustee Bowen.
Yes.
Trustee Brewer.
Yes.
Trustee Mohica. Treasurer Fedewa.
Yes,
Clerk Clark is yes. Supervisor Fletcher.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. I now on the minutes of November 14th, 2022.
sure. Just I noticed in the public comments section of the minutes, there were two items that we discussed. One was the status of the CIA. And that the staff would be working on and updating us later. And then the receipt of a letter, Tri-County Bicycle Association was acknowledged. We did discuss a little bit more detail than just that. And my feeling was there was consensus that we agreed that we would invite them to make a presentation to the board at a future date. So I'd like the minutes to reflect that. So I'd like to amend the amendments by adding after acknowledged by, and it was agreed to invite the association to make a presentation to the board.
I support that amendment.
Any other motion to approve them as amended?
So moved.
Is there support? It's been moved to support to approve the minutes as amended. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Managers report.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, board members. Not a long report today, but just wanted to bring your attention. I know several of you attend the economic luncheons for Lansing Chamber here and there. On December 6th, they are presenting the Athena Awards, and it's our former Delta Township trustee Dorothy Maxwell is being honored, as well as Lauren Cumberbatch, who's a Delta Township business owner. So I thought if there were enough people, we could get a table for that luncheon. So please make sure you let me know tomorrow, or Mary will know, and we can get the appropriate number of tickets.
Great. Anything else?
That'll do it unless there's any questions.
Any questions? Yes.
Yeah, I have a comment basically. I was on our mapping website. This is last week. And I noticed that every time you want to bring up a tax, the tax information for the individual parcel that we have, you have to use this CAPTCHA to determine that you're a real person, not a bot or anything like that, which is fine for the first time, but every single time you want to do it, it asks, for the CAPTCHA authentic authorization, authentication. And I just think it's very cumbersome to have to do it every single time. Obviously it knows your IP address. Our system recognizes that. So if you've done that the first time, I don't know why you have to continually do that CAPTCHA authorization, authentication every single query. Could you just check with Dave on that?
I'll check. And I know some of that stuff is cumbersome, but I would say there's at least 2 school districts have been shut down for several days with ransomware attacks. We get, Dave could give an update. We get bombarded daily with bots and different things. It's pretty extraordinary, the stuff that we block. So a lot of it just kind of layering on extra security. It's very cumbersome. I know it's not desirable, but it's to some degree, it's what we have to do to protect our
If you can
integrity.
check with Dave, like I say, you're identified by your IP address when you do it the first time and it's authenticated, but to have to do it in the same session over and over and over again, I don't know if that's necessary. But I'd like to, alert Dave to that and maybe get an explanation why.
Sure.
Okay,
Looking
that's
at
all
it,
I
yeah.
got. Anything else?
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you to Rick and Ernie and Brian for the tour of the not wastewater, the water resource recovery facility, because when I looked at these pictures in the comm, I could see where things had changed from my memory. So I just thought that was wonderful that we did that before the snow fell. So that these updates, they're more meaningful that way. So thank you very much.
But to that point, I think your drone pictures really help too.
Mhm.
A variety I know you've been using them for a variety of things, and I think they're very informative and intuitive for people. People are visual animals, so I think it's very helpful in telling the story.
Yes, it sounds good. And we do, we fly it with a drone quite a bit. We have pretty systematic, so we'll have some good time lapse when the project is, complete and that type of thing, and for individual buildings. So really a lot of effort from the staff on that. So thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah, the photos were great to see, just because you don't, and especially seeing some of the work further back, you don't always see that from the road. So it's just kind of exciting since we did the tour to see all the progress being made.
Brian, last week there was someone from the public that came and talked about the old library. The building had some water coming down. Will you keep us posted with any updates in terms of what the plans are?
Sure, I will. I'll bring back a more detailed update on that. I did go out there and of course, those pictures were, not good for that time. That was after August when we had a deluge. I mean, we know that building is old. We have all of our buildings, community center, sheriff substation, this building at times get water damage depending on the rain or where the wind's coming from. So we're doing some extra work, but bring back a more detailed update. It caught us by surprise with that. But certainly we'll have more for you.
Great, thank you.
Anything else for Brian? Okay, great, thank you. Anything else people want to raise? Any final public comment? Let's see, no further business before us. We are adjourned. 9